We're here with head coach Autumn Rademacher for the Autumn Rademacher ShootAround show, the first edition this year. And coach, you've been practicing for a few weeks, had one exhibition game, and I know you have to be excited for the start of the season tomorrow versus Oakland.
I really am, and the best part is that I don't think we played very well against Saginaw Valley, so that just made us even more hungry to get to tomorrow. I know we were able to play a lot of people on Monday, and it tended to get a little sloppy at times. So I'm interested to see how our core group really comes together and is able to play for longer spurts of time, and it's for real now. So every game counts, and I know that the 1-9 situation comes up quite a bit for me in our team, so we're hoping that we can go ahead and compete and come away with maybe a better non-conference record than we did last year.
Coach might have won 1-9, but you won 16 for your last 21 as well. Talk about this being a rivalry game, with Oakland. I mean, obviously you want to win every game you play, but starting the year off versus a local rival, had that entered the team mind at all? Have you seen them a little bit more intensity because it's Oakland?
Well, you know what? They're just up the street, and I know that we get into recruiting battles and all those kinds of things, so we all know each other very well. I think that the fact that we went up there last year, and I just really think that maybe we snuck up on them. We were able to go into halftime just down a couple points, make a few adjustments, and we really came out strong in the second half, and they just never recovered, which is why we were able to come out with the victory, and that was obviously a great win for our program. And I know that they are probably watching that tape right now as we speak, and will be motivated to pay us the favor back and come down here. And we all have new faces. We all have new kids on our roster. We are all fairly young, so I think it's going to be, hopefully it'll be a great game.
Talk about, some of the challenges playing Oakland. What do they present? What do they like to do on offense and on defense?
You know what? Offensively, they are a little bit like Green Bay, who's in our conference, which they run a lot of random motion. We can only really go by with what they did last year. Obviously, we don't have a whole lot of tape. They had exhibition games, but we can only really go based on last year, and that's what they did last year, is a lot of 5-out stuff. They will drop down their post players to the block. They will also post guards. They like to penetrate and pitch. They do have a kid that is coming back, and Carnego, number 22, as well as Waterworth, who had a great game against us last year. So they're really going with I would imagine they're going to go with their double post lineup with a few quick guards around them, but probably spread you out and look to go inside.
Talk about that from a coaching perspective. You just, you mentioned the start of the season, you don't really have a lot of tape with them to go on, and, that's the way it's going to be for the first couple of games of the year. So you and your coaching staff, are you more or less going to really scout last year's tape? I mean, are the adjustments you and your coaching staff make, is that going to be really important for these first few games?
I honestly think that with the limited amount of information that we have, we can go on stats, we can go by what they did in high school, but certainly the transition from high school to college is a lot different, and I just think the focus really has to be on what we're doing. We will get better prepared as the games go on and more tapes become available, but right now it's about what we do, and we can only take the philosophy maybe from last year's tape on what they do on offense and defense and apply it in practice, and who knows, they could come out with something completely different, but I think that we've spent a lot of time on a lot of things, so I think we'll be ready. Well,
they can come out with something different, and we can come out with a whole lot of things different too.
Exactly.
And just to recap, the lone exhibition game versus Saginaw Valley, the victory 72-52. I mean, what were some of the things that Detroit really needs to clean up, by tomorrow?
I would just say our decisions on the break, I just wasn't necessarily happy with. We spent a lot of time on that in practice, so I thought we had a real good feel for when we have an advantage numbers-wise. I just thought maybe we weren't as crisp and weren't as accurate in those scenarios. So I just look for us to maybe even push the ball a little bit more than we did. I don't necessarily like when we are walking it up the floor, and I want to get everyone involved, get a lot more movement, get a little bit more intensity on defense, do a better job on the boards. So in essence, do everything better, PJ.